So when you come to Orlando and you're visiting the different types of parks, you know you're going to be dealing with lines. So what are some of the things you could do to pass the time? There's all kinds of different types of games you can play. But what about AR games, also known as augmented reality games? The most popular of the AR games currently is Pokemon Go. The predecessor, which was called Ingress, that's where Pokemon Go actually gets its portals from. Ingress has portals worldwide. Ingress was around for years prior to Pokemon Go. And there's a new one out right now called Jurassic Park. And the reason why I'm bringing a lot of this up right now is that coming soon from the same company that brought you Pokemon Go and Ingress is coming out with a new Harry Potter game, an augmented Harry Potter type game. Now, we don't have a lot of information about that, but I wanted to point this out because if you're visiting the parks here in Orlando, you have 4 Disney parks, you have water parks, you have 2 parks at Universal, including their other water park, which is a 3rd park now, and you have SeaWorld and SeaWorld's water park. So what's the big deal? The AR games rely predominantly on a large amount of the different characters. Like in Pokemon Go, you're trying to catch Pokemon. In Jurassic Park, you're catching dinosaurs. Now in Ingress, it's all about the portals. The parks are full of all the portals for all of these games. Plus, if there's things like dinosaurs, you'll find more dinosaurs at the parks. If you're looking for a Pokemon, Pokemon are everywhere. So what's the best park to go to? Well, it kind of depends on what you're trying to accomplish. So if you're only focusing on Pokemon Go, Magic Kingdom to me is probably the best park to go to. And the reason being is that I find there's more portals here, and there's also more ways to hatch eggs. For instance, there's 2 rides here that will help you hatch your eggs quickly. And the one is right behind me here, and that's the train station. So I'll show you how lucrative it is for not only catching but also spinning portals while just riding the train. So some information about the train. The train cannot exceed 11 miles per hour. So it's far below what you need to ride in to hatch an egg. On top of that, the train is 1.5 miles in diameter. So as you're riding this slow moving train, you're generating 1.5 miles every time you do a full trip, and you don't have to get off the train. So this is a great way to not only hatch eggs, but hit portals. I'll show you the other ride that will help you hatch eggs and has a ton of portals as well. This is far beyond just walking around the park and finding portals and Pokemon to hatch and catch. Now with the other ones, Ingress actually has far more portals in all the different parks. So I started playing Ingress back in California, and I would actually go to Disneyland and actually hit up all the portals at Disneyland. Come to any of these, if you decide to play Ingress, you'll find there's actually more portals than there is for the portals of Pokemon Go. Ingress was the first thing. And with Ingress, the concept and the idea is to capture the portals and then create links, and that's how you progress and go up levels. It's actually a pretty fun game, and both of them are focused around walking. The Jurassic Park game, and I'll show you on my phone the different games and what you're going to see portal-wise. Jurassic Park right now doesn't use the same portals. It's a different company, so the amount of portals is very limited. And I'm seeing that although I see more dinosaurs at the park, it's not like you would see with Pokemon Go and with Ingress, where you're going to find Pokemon everywhere. So we're going to go on the train, and we're going to show you what to expect and how to hatch an egg. Here's an example of what Pokemon Go looks like while being on the train. Once again, it doesn't go faster than 11 miles per hour, and you can actually see quite a few portals up in front. But if we switch over to Ingress, you can see there's far more portals and things to do. It's a far more immense game. And then if we go over to the dinosaur game, this is the Jurassic Park here. And you can see some dinosaurs out in the background here, but it's not as established yet, so I don't think they have as many portals quite yet. There's some portals nearby, so you end up hacking a portal, and it kind of, you get devices from then. That allows you to attack the green side or the blue side, depending on which team you're on. I'm on the blue side. So anything that's in your range, you can just hack it. You can get attack strings, things to take over portals. And then once you have enough keys, once you get keys, you can actually link the portal. So you can see these lines across here. Those are the linkages, and it prevents someone from creating a link through it. Let's see if I can do a link. And there's a link right there. So I'll create a link, confirm it.
Hey there, folks, and welcome aboard the Walt Disney World Railroad. At this time, please remain seated and supervise all children. Please keep all hands, arms, legs, and feet in.
And you can pretty much just sit here and just ride this all day if you wanted to. So this is Jurassic Park. We're right at the train station, and I wanted to give you kind of an idea of what you see portal-wise and dinosaur-wise. Not a ton, really not a ton. Still better than I would see at normal parks, and that's something you should keep in consideration too, is the normal parks here in Orlando usually have tons of portals, lots of dinosaurs, great for Ingress, great for Pokemon Go. I think Jurassic Park still needs some time to develop. Here in Islands of Adventure and Universal Studios, looking at Jurassic Park Live app, you can actually see that there are far more supply drops than we saw like over at the Magic Kingdom, and a lot more dinosaurs. Here's Pokemon Go at the train station. So you already see there's lots of gems, and if you look carefully, there was portals everywhere. This is a very portal-rich environment. But not least, Ingress. Like I said before, Ingress was the first of the augmented reality games, and then Pokemon Go would match some of these portals, but as you can see when we look at Ingress, there is so many portals everywhere. Now Ingress doesn't use gyms, it's all about portals, and you have two fractions. You have the blue side and you have the green side. I'm a member of the blue side, we call the green side frogs. And what we do is we take over the white portals, we attack the green portals as blue, and then we try to take them over. And then you can see these giant fields that have been developed here. But Ingress is a lot of fun. It's mostly a walking game. There's all kinds of things you can do. When you look over here, is your badges you can earn, what it's going to require to go up to the next levels, and so forth. When you're playing the augmented reality games, whether it's Ingress, Pokemon, or the Jurassic Park game, it's really important to understand that you are at an amusement park and it's very crowded. Now, the fact that it's crowded, don't lock your eyes directly into your phone and just focus on the game. I would recommend, if you find a Pokemon, a portal, if you're going to battle a dinosaur, move off to the side, find a nice spot and just play there. Walking down the street or stopping in the middle of the street has a tendency to get people to injured. If you just suddenly stop and there's a stroller behind you, that stroller is going to run into your ankles. Also, if people are holding food behind you, you're going to get covered. So, park etiquette. First off, let's talk about park etiquette while playing augmented reality games at any of the parks. The parks are rich for portals, they're rich for Pokemon, they're rich for pretty much everything you want. But keep in mind, you need to stay cognitive of the people around you. Everybody paid to get into this park, so it's important that you focus on what's going on around you and less on the game that you're playing. If you're at a ride and you're in line, keep an eye open so you progress in the line, that you're not just standing there with a 12-foot gap in front of you because you're trying to catch a Pokemon. Keep your eyes where you need to be while you're walking. Another piece of park etiquette. I'm being swarmed by bubbles. This is awesome. Another part of park etiquette is, if there's a group of you and you're playing the augmented reality games, a bunch of you guys are playing Pokemon Go, whatever, Do not gather in the middle of a street. Do not block traffic. This is vitally important. It's great that we have the ability to come here and play these AR games, but we also need to be respectful of the people around us as we're playing these games. There's so much to do here if you're not involved in the park itself. So if you're a pass holder, playing these games is probably a lot of fun. If you've never been to the park before, I kind of recommend you don't play the games unless you're in the line, because you're missing out on a lot of things here. This is a great parks, and there's a lot of things to do and a lot to see. Don't just focus on your phone. This should be for everything. Don't just focus on your phone. Focus on everything around you and enjoy your park. You paid a lot of money to get in here. More on park etiquette while playing the augmented reality games. If you're walking straight down the road here and you're looking at your phone, you are going to bump into people. You are going to maybe injure a child. There's all kinds of different possibilities here. Please move over directly to the side and camp out next to a wall like these people are over here, or against the walls over there. Stopping it in the center of the road has a tendency to create a bottleneck. And if there's a bottleneck and you're not paying attention, you're going to hit somebody. So please, as you're playing, be very, very cognitive of everything around you. Please move off to the side. It's fine to kind of glance at your phone as you're playing to see if there's anything to play with, but when it comes down to it, move off to the side before you actually start playing. So the other location that's great for hatching eggs is actually the People Mover right here. It's a very slow moving vehicle, goes all over, tons of portals to hit, either for Ingress or for Pokemon Go. It moves slow enough where you should be able to grab dinosaurs if you're playing Jurassic Park, but there's a trick to this. When it's not busy, you don't have to get off this ride. Yeah, that's right. You can just tell them you want to go around one more time. There's a story of a wedding couple who spent 4 hours on this ride. When it gets really busy, they'll actually ask you to get off the ride, but believe it or not, most of the time, you could just stay on this ride to your heart's content. So one of the really interesting things about the People Mover here is that it's just under 2 miles for its track. So you have probably a little bit better of a chance hatching eggs on this than you do on the train. Also, I feel that this has more portals for Pokemon Go than the train has. The train's also very fun, but these are the two best rides for hatching eggs if you plan on playing Pokemon Go here. Very slow, very relaxed. So this would be a perfect opportunity to actually pull out your phone while you're standing in line. It's not moving very fast. And you could sit there, you could play Pokemon Go, you could play Jurassic Park, you play Ingress. It gives you something to do. There's all kinds of different games you can play online. But as stated before, be aware of what's around you, so when the line moves, you need to move as well. All right, now we're gonna get on the People Mover, try to hatch some eggs, and spin some portals.
Watch your stuff, guys.
So as you can see, as we're moving here, there's portals to hit.
Stay clear of the doors, which will open and close automatically. Enjoy your trip. Para sus seguros, permanezca seguro.
You can see all the portals that we're literally going by as we do this.
Proudly presents Progress City, Walt Disney's dream for an experimental prototype community of tomorrow. If your future includes shopping, then you'll want to visit Mickey Stock Traders, where you'll find the greatest goods from around the galaxy. That's right.
And we've hatched an egg.
Put the pedal to the metal and speed towards the checkered flag in your very own race car. Young or old, this is your chance to drive in the fast one. A beautiful tomorrow shining at the end of every day.
Gotcha. So we're told that we could just stay in our seats and ride it again. Don't abuse this. When it's really busy, don't insist. But if you love the ride and you want to go through again, maybe relax, just do this and say, I'd like to go through one more time. Most of the time they'll let you. Now that we're going to go through again, I'm going to show you some Ingress here. So we can hack that portal if we want to, but what I want to do is deploy so I can take it over. So I'm going to deploy. This kind of moves a little fast, so it could be a little bit more difficult to play Ingress on here, but it's still possible. So as we get into the station, you can just see tons of Pokemon, lots of Pokestops. This is a great ride if you need a harvest and if you need to hit Pokemon and Pokestops. In conclusion here, Magic Kingdom is probably one of my favorite places to come if I'm low on Pokeballs, if I want to play Ingress. It's just there's a lot more portals and there's a lot more activity here. But realistically, there's tons to do at Disney Springs. You can also go to the City Walk over at Universal. Disney Springs has free parking and there's plenty of Pokestops and also Pokemon there. Lots of portals for Ingress, probably lots of dinosaurs for the Jurassic Park game. Unfortunately, Universal Studios City Walk, you have to pay for parking to get in.